Look, a work process in and of itself is pretty boring. So the first mistake to avoid is assuming that your process is going to be interesting just because it exists. Hey there, it's Jody Sutter of the Sutter Company, and it's Just Ask Jody. It's that time when I take a question from an agency around an issue they're having with business development, and I'll answer that question in 4 minutes or less. And today, the question is, how do we present our work process so it doesn't sound boring? Look, here's the thing. A work process in and of itself is pretty boring. So the first mistake that you can avoid is to assume that your process is going to be interesting simply because it exists. But on the other hand, when you're pitching a new client, they do have a real need to understand, the alchemy of what you do. Because as an agency, what you're really promising is ideas, good ideas, probably very good ideas, because you've generated a lot of good ideas in the past. But to a prospect, that can sound a little like capturing lightning in a bottle. So this is where a work process actually becomes really useful because it's a way for you to show how you capture that lightning. A good process demonstrates that you have a way of making critical decisions, that you can winnow down a lot of good ideas into the best idea. And then, just as importantly, it shows how you can then marshal all the necessary forces to turn that really good idea, that best idea, into something that actually gets a consumer to take action. So when you look at your process through that lens, I think 2 things may happen. The first one is that you will begin to eliminate a lot of the stuff that just doesn't matter. And then you can also be more intentional about the details that do matter. And the result is that your prospect will get an early intuitive sense of what it would be like to work with you. One more thing, and this part matters. Cut the jargon, cut the generalizations, use clear, succinct human language. That's it for this Just Ask Jody. If you've got a question you'd like to ask me on a Just Ask Jody in the future, you can email me at jody@thesuttercompany.com, and I'll see you next time.